This morning, Jimmy Kimmel's emotional return to TV, what he said and how our viewers are reacting just ahead.
Plus a new ultimatum, what the state is now requiring a local dog breeder to do to avoid criminal charges.
And controlling chronic wasting disease, what hunters across the Badger State need to know about the DNR's new sampling locations.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Wednesday. I'm Kyrie Unley.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. You know, a little cooler out to start the morning, but it's not like that fall weather is going to stick around anytime soon.
No, so I think we just need to be soaking in these last few days of these warm temps. I know I will be. Yes, but we have some other things to deal with this morning as you're headed out the door, though.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Just the fog. Some of these visibilities have actually come up a lot since where we were sitting a couple hours ago. Most of us at 10, that includes Madison. We were down to a mile about 2 hours ago now. Lone Rock's at 7, Boscobel at 6. The patchy, more dense of fog that's just to the northwest of La Crosse there. Not expecting that to get into southern Wisconsin, but we'll still see patchy light fog consist through at least about mid-morning. Dry and cooler today. I think we could see a few isolated showers far east of Madison, but the rest of us are going to be dry. And I do think temperatures are only going to reach about 70. Some of us only are going to reach 68 or 69, so the upper 60s. We do fall again tonight into tomorrow, but then we are going to see a warmer summer-like pattern this weekend. We'll talk about how long that's going to stick around.
All right, Savannah, thank you. First this morning, after his suspension overnight, Jimmy Kimmel returned to the airwaves.
ABC preempted the show after the comedian made what it called ill-timed and insensitive jokes on the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. During his monologue last night, Kimmel said he did not intend to blame anyone and that there was nothing funny about Charlie Kirk's shooting.
I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't.
Both Nexstar and Sinclair preempted last night's episode, leaving nearly a quarter of all U.S. households unable to watch. Kimmel's return also came with mixed reviews from viewers.
I can't believe they're letting him back on the air.
It felt like he spoke from the heart, he was honest, and he said what we were all thinking.
Just an hour before the episode was set to air, President Trump also appeared to threaten to sue ABC, saying on social media that the show had bad ratings and even accused Kimmel of working with the Democratic Party.
Now to local news. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture has given Ridgeland Farms an ultimatum. Accept a $55,000 penalty by Friday or face criminal charges. The Dane County Beagle Breeding Facility received 311 violations following a state inspection. Most of the violations involve cherry eye surgery, which is removing a third eye gland without anesthesia. The agency says if Ridgeland doesn't agree to the civil forfeiture, the case will go to the Dane County District Attorney.
We question whether the district attorney would actually be interested in pursuing these claims for the reasons that we tried to articulate to DADCAP, which is there's no factual or legal basis to support them.
Ridgeland officials defend the procedures as necessary for animal research and say they follow USDA standards. The facility houses more than 3,000 dogs. State law doesn't give DADCAP the power to seize animals. That authority rests with local law enforcement. Dane County supervisors are pushing to have the state revoke Ridgeland's license.
6:03, turning now to continuing coverage of the fallout at the Sun Prairie School District. This week, the district released some personnel records for Robert Gilkey-Meissegeyer, the former West High School dean of students charged with 15 counts of child sex abuse. Those documents show the district evaluated an anonymous tip and interviewed a student, her mother, and Gilkey-Meissegeyer. District HR, though, did not find an inappropriate relationship. The executive director of Safe Harbor Child Advocacy Center says an internal investigation isn't enough to cooperate with the state's mandatory reporting statute.
It's legally required to report, is that we can sometimes find these allegations hard to believe because offenders groom, so they'll groom a child, but they'll also groom their family, their parents, the community.
We are also looking for structural safeguards so that this culture does not continue.
Parents like Christy Yang, who you just heard from, say kids do not feel safe and continue to attend school board meetings to demand accountability. The district denied a request to comment for this story. They did share a statement on their website that reads, "While charges progress through the legal system, we will fully collaborate with the Sun Prairie Police Department while focusing on supporting our students, families, and staff." Gilkey Meisegeier has pleaded not guilty to the allegations.
Madison police have made an arrest in connection with a 2013 sexual assault. Nathaniel Stabler is charged with second-degree sexual assault. Police say the incident happened on South Hancock Street in November 2013. A woman reported that she was at a concert when she became separated from friends and an unknown man offered to help. He then attacked and sexually assaulted her in a parking lot. DNA evidence collected in December 2013 had remained without matches until recently. Stabler was booked into the Dane County Jail on September 4th and is being bound over for trial.
Happening today, the families of the victims of the deadly mid-air collision near Washington, D.C.'s Reagan National Airport are set to release a major update. Details about what that announcement, though, are not immediately available. It was January. 67 people were killed after a Black Hawk Army helicopter crashed into an American Airlines flight that was on its final approach. It was the nation's deadliest mid-air crash since 2001. The families are expected to make that announcement at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
The Missouri woman convicted of trying to defraud the family of Elvis Presley begins her sentence today. Lisa Findlay was sentenced to more than 4 years in prison for trying to convince the Presley family that the house was used as collateral in a loan. But the whole thing was a hoax. Authorities charged Findlay last year, and she accepted a plea deal in February.
This morning, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are asking the court to give the music mogul leniency ahead of his sentence hearing next month.
They say Combs was acquitted of the most serious charges against him and should get more than 14 months in prison. If accepted, Combs could be released less than 2 months after his sentencing. This comes as the judge is set to consider a motion on whether or not to vacate the jury's verdict tomorrow. Now let's take a live look at New York City, where the second day of the United Nations General Assembly is set to be held. Today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is set to meet with Russia's foreign minister. That high-stakes meeting is set to begin around 11 this morning and comes just 1 day after President Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump also called on European leaders to stop buying Russian oil as a way to help resolve the conflict sooner. We will have more on Trump's speech coming up in our next half hour.
Well, this week's General Assembly in New York came as the Secret Service said that it seized a cache of equipment in the New York region capable of crashing the cellular network. Agents found more than 100,000 SIM cards and 300 servers that could have sent 30 million text messages a minute, possibly crippling cell towers, inhibit emergency responses, or be used for surveillance. Despite this, there isn't any specific information, though, indicating the network was a threat to this week's UN General Assembly meeting.
Turning now to some more local news, the Department of Natural Resources is updating the public on chronic wasting disease in Wisconsin's deer population. In a briefing, officials discussed new sampling locations, testing options for hunters, and the importance of responsible carcass disposal as hunting season approaches.
We do still have our endemic, what we call our endemic part of the state, that is really more in the southwest. So where I would say we've seen a bit more spread recently outside of that endemic area is into the west central part of the state. So kind of moving into Monroe and some of those counties up in that direction.
As CWD spreads in Wisconsin, the DNR plans to collect nearly 20,000 samples this season. Hunters are encouraged to participate in testing and follow baiting and feeding regulations to protect the state's deer herd. The state remains proactive, working with other states to share best practices. For more information, you can visit the DNR website.
Tonight, bird conservation groups and Dark Skies International asking you to turn off any unnecessary lights. It's all to save birds. Listen to this. Over 21 million birds will be migrating south through Wisconsin tonight. Glow from lights can disorient migrating birds and raise the risk of them flying into windows and other glass structures. Studies show that window collisions kill billions of birds every year. So you're asked to turn your lights off between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. overnight to help out.
Looking ahead to the weekend now, the True North Music and Food Festival is coming to the Duck Pond. The festival features some of Madison's best chefs and emerging regional music. Our partner, Madison Magazine, is a proud sponsor of the event. Tickets can be found at truenorthfest.com and start at $15. Now, $2 from each ticket sold will benefit domestic abuse intervention services in the Dane County Food Collective. That's happening on this Saturday.
And tonight, Monona's Beer Garden at the beach is saying goodbye to summer. You can enjoy beer, yard games, and live music from 5 to 8:30 this evening. It's a little tucked away. It's at Schluter Park on Winnequa Road. It is a lovely view of the city and the skyline. You see the Capitol. It's right on the water. Cool little spot, the Beer Garden.
All right, so you got beer, yard games, and music, all with a good view.
There you go.
All right, let's check in with Savannah. What are the temps looking like this morning?
Well, we're definitely a little cooler than what we had yesterday. Most of us across Dane County are in the lower, and we've got a couple of us in the mid-50s. We started out a little bit cooler, but temperatures are slowly already starting to rise. But we're going to be fall-like by the afternoon, only expecting highs that reach about 70 degrees. 47 only this morning in Black River Falls, 56 in Monroe, and 57 in Janesville. We'll be cooler heading into tonight and early Thursday morning, but then we do have a summer-like weekend as temperatures rebound. We'll have an outlook on how warm we're going to be coming up.
Savannah, thank you.
Still ahead, a new warning about harmful chemicals that could be on your produce, the fruits and veggies possibly containing pesticides.
And it may only be Wednesday, but we're already looking ahead to the weekend in the 608. I'll have your 3 things to do coming up.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:14, back with your health news this morning. Eating certain fruits and vegetables can raise the levels of harmful pesticides in the body. An environmental working group study found that strawberries, spinach, and bell peppers have higher levels of pesticide than other produce. The study raises questions about current food safety regulations set by the government. In higher levels, pesticides have been linked to cancer and reproductive issues.
New research shows that drinking alcohol, even light drinking, can increase the risk of dementia. A study published in the British Medical Journal found the more you drink, the higher the risk. Even just 1 to 3 drinks a week was linked to a 15% higher risk, while heavy drinkers face a 41% higher risk.
Air pollution may be harming children's eyesight. A University of Birmingham study found that while genetics and excessive screen time play a major role in myopia in kids, air pollution also has a negative impact. The study suggests that air purifiers are put in classrooms and to even close the streets to cars during school drop-off and pickup times, and that could improve eye health.
Let's check in now with Savannah, who's getting you ready to head out the door this morning. Hey.
Hey guys, good morning. Little bit of fog, but we are seeing numbers come up, which is good. Madison was down to 1. We're now at full visibility. That's 10 and all areas pretty much east. Platteville still dealing with lower visibility at 5, Lone Rock 7, Boscobel 6. So some patchy light fog. I would say maybe allow yourself a couple of extra minutes, but it's not as dense as what we had earlier, nor the last couple of days. I think we'll see more fog overnight into early tomorrow morning when our temperatures are going to be cooler. They're cooler already this morning, and that trend is going to continue the next couple of days. 56 in Madison, 57 in Watertown, only 47 this morning, though, in Black River Falls. Most of us have fallen below the 60-degree mark. There's a couple of warmer spots off to the east. We'll be mostly dry, a lot of cloud cover early, and then we'll see some sunshine later in the day, but expect cooler temps. The forecast high today in Madison, 70, but I do think some areas across southern Wisconsin will only reach the upper 60s. So it will be fall-like today and then tonight, but we're tracking a summer-like weekend ahead. So here's the clouds decreasing as we head closer to about dinner time between about 3 and 4 p.m. I think we'll start to see some sunshine. There might be a few spotty showers overnight as clouds increase again, but those are mostly going to be off towards Lake Michigan, maybe as far east as Manitowoc and Sheboygan, Milwaukee. I think we stay dry across the Madison area. Cloud cover will start with a decent amount tomorrow, and then gradually as we get through the afternoon, evening Thursday, that's when we're going to expect skies to clear yet again. So very similar pattern and a little bit warmer tomorrow. That trend continues for the next several days. We're not tracking any cooler days except today. That's the only fall-like day. Give or take a few days, our pattern's going to be well above average. That'll continue not only for the weekend, but even into early October. I think the first week is looking pretty dry and temperatures that are going to be really, really warm. We have also a dry pattern that'll take us late September, early October. So little to no rain going forward this weekend into next week, and even probably the week after that. Might see a few stray showers, but we're not tracking any widespread or heavy rain, and some areas could use that. Beloit, Lake Geneva, Monroe, areas south of Platteville all now got added to abnormally dry conditions last week, and I think those areas probably going to see conditions and similar. We might even see that spread further north. We have seen a little bit of rain the last couple of days, and with the severe weather that we had the last night, Monday night into early Tuesday morning. But aside of that, yeah, we're dry for quite some time.
Yeah, and some people really need that rain. They really do, like you said. Yeah, but I can't complain about 80s over the weekend. All right?
No, lots of lake days coming back for a lot of people. There you go.
Well, it's only Wednesday, but we are already working for the weekend in the 608.
Our Josh Sprider is live now in studio with the Weekend Planner. What's on your list this week?
Hey, never too early to think about the weekend, and this is going to be the final weekend of September. So here are your 3 things to do this weekend in the 608. First up, Schuster's Farm in Deerfield celebrating its 32nd season with a tribute to the national champs, the UW women's hockey team. This year's corn maze features Bucky Badger scoring a goal, and the message, UW women's hockey is the GOAT. Fans can explore the maze, pick pumpkins, eat the donuts, and drink their brand new cider slushy, along with checking out the other fall attractions through Halloween. Their Haunted Forest officially opens up for this season this weekend as well. You can get your tickets online right now. Well, a unique event is coming to Circus World in Baraboo. It's called Wagons and Wine. On Saturday, guests can sip Wisconsin wines while strolling the grounds and getting an up-close look at the dozen authentic historic circus wagons. The event also features big band music, light bites, and live performances from Circus World artists. Tickets are $45 for guests 21 and older, with discounts available for designated drivers. We're going to be live in Sauk County for a sneak peek Thursday morning in the 608. Let's head west to Iowa County. The 2025 EMS and Fire Festival is happening Saturday in Avoca. This is at Lakeside Park from 11 to 11. There are events for the whole family with food, drinks, and music. So this festival helps the all-volunteer department get what they need to keep the community safe. So it's all for a good cause. I'll be there on the ground Friday morning in the 608 with a closer look there. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. Going to be a busy weekend. That weather looks nice.
Yes.
Hard to complain.
Yeah, very hard to complain. I know it doesn't feel fall-like, but still get out to these places. How was that slushy?
Oh, it was delicious. Yeah, it was so good. It was a lot of sugar. So be ready for that sugar, rise and then that crash. But no, it's delicious.
And with highs in around 80 degrees over the weekend, they'll probably sell a lot of those slushies.
Big time. Yeah, it's going to be great.
All right, good stuff. Busy weekend. Josh Sprider, thanks for giving us your list.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for inspiration to share with you folks. Got an idea for him to feature in the 608? Reach out and let him know about it. 6:20, still ahead. A look at Spirit Halloween's 2025 costume trends and an attempt to break a world record.
And coming up in our next half hour, another politician is trying their hand in the race for governor. We'll look at who it is and their history in politics just ahead. Welcome back. We're taking a look at what's trending this morning. So, of course, spooky season is in full swing, and Spirit Halloween just revealed the hottest costume trends of 2025.
All right, what do we got?
All right, so leading the pack, of course, Glinda and Elphaba look inspired by Wicked. So take a look there. Marvel Mania is huge this year with over 30 Spider-Man suits. Didn't even know that was possible. Plus, bold new takes on the Fantastic Four. And Squid Game, take a look there, is back in a big way with player tracksuits, frontman mask, and young key looks. And from SpongeBob and South Park to Wednesday Addams and Star Wars, families can suit up together for the ultimate group fit. You can grab them now in stores and online at Spirit Halloween.
K-pop Demon Hunters is the big trending thing for kids my age. They love that show, and so that's supposed to be the Meg?
I say the name itself kind of just turned me away. I'm like, I don't know about that one. I know it's huge, but I have no clue what it's about at this point.
Where did the SpongeBob thing come from? Was there something SpongeBob-y this year? I don't even know. Yeah.
SpongeBob is a legend.
Yeah, that was from my time. So yeah.
I mean, we grew up watching SpongeBob. He's just a legend by himself. He doesn't need an explanation.
So.
Savannah's getting her costume ready for this year.
Ozzy Osbourne, guys.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay.
Ozzy.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You can do that on the air.
Yeah, I think so. I just got to find like one of those big crosses, but I got a lot of black clothes, so no problem there. I just got to find a way to not really dye my hair, but fake dye my hair black.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, before we wrap up here, New Jersey baseball fans joined forces in an effort to break the Guinness World Record for the longest game of catch. More than 2,300 people took on the challenge to break the record at Montclair State University. But in order to get the record, participants had to stand 10 feet apart and play for 5 minutes. They were able to smash the previous record set by Illinois.
That was a pretty low record, honestly. I'm surprised nobody's done it before.
I know.
Exactly. We can bring it to Wisconsin maybe.
Yeah, there we go.
We're back after this.
I want to thank the people who don't support my show.
New this morning, Kimmel returns. His message to viewers after the political pressure to pull him off the air.
And this morning, state lawmakers prepared to introduce new bipartisan bills, how they're aimed to help voters beyond the polls.
Oh, and Culver's launching Kurdtoberfest, when you can expect some new menu items. What day is it? Wednesday.
I was like, please don't say Monday.
Wednesday morning, everybody.
Please don't go back.
Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie. I'm Lee. Thanks for waking up with us. You are halfway through the week. Don't be scared. I know some people start their work weeks at different point in time, so maybe it is their Monday. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's early.
Yes, it is.
I'm glad
it's not our Monday. Well, good morning, guys. Our sunset continues to get earlier and earlier as we get those shorter days. Sunset today, 6:50 p.m. Our temperature 56, dew points 56. We've had a little bit of patchy fog. Most of those visibilities in Madison and areas east have come up, but Platteville and areas just to our west still dealing with a little bit of patchy fog. Not going to last more than mid-morning. 70s are forecast high today. Our average today, 70, so we'll be exactly there. And then we fall into the upper 60s for our average high. We're not going to have temperatures that are going to be anywhere near normal, though. Tomorrow we're back in the mid-70s. And then look at those 3 days in the 80s, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Pretty perfect weekend, in my opinion, anyways, that we do have ahead. We'll talk about if that stretch could last into early next week after that as well.
All right, thanks, Savannah. New this morning, Jimmy Kimmel is back making his first comments after he was pulled from the air. ABC suspended his show last week for comments he made about the Charlie Kirk shooting.
In his opening monologue, he said there was nothing funny about the conservative activist's death, while also defending free speech.
It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I want to thank the people who don't support my show and what I believe, but support my right to share those beliefs anyway. The President of the United States made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here fired from our jobs. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihoods because he can't take a joke.
ABC announced it was pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live after criticism from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, along with broadcasters Nexstar and Sinclair. The decision means the show is blocked from about a quarter of U.S. households. Charlie Kirk's supporters have expressed disappointment with Disney's decision, while some audience members praised Kimmel's honesty. Ahead of the show, President Trump criticized Kimmel on social media, calling him an arm of the Democratic Party and hinting at a possible lawsuit against ABC.
President Trump is back at the White House this morning after addressing the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday. In his speech to world leaders, he seemed to change his stance on a key aspect of Russia's war in Ukraine. It comes after speaking with Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky. Trump also criticized the UN, questioned climate change, and touted what he considers the success of his second term. Trump also called on Europe to be tougher on immigration.
You need strong borders and traditional energy sources if you are going to be great again.
President Trump also said NATO member countries should shoot down Russian aircrafts that enter their airspace. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with Russia's foreign minister today.
Now to local news. A Madison man has been sentenced to 70 years in prison for sexually assaulting an infant earlier this year. In May, Skylar Klassen pleaded guilty to first-degree sexual assault of a child sexual exploitation, and possession of child pornography. Investigators say photo and video evidence of the assault was found on his phone. The infant's mother, Madison Bishop, is also facing charges, accused of encouraging Klassen to commit the assault. Bishop is scheduled to appear in court on October 10th.
6:33 now. Next week at the state capitol, lawmakers will meet to discuss the 2024 Wisconsin Child Abuse and Neglect Report. A child trauma advocacy group is now urging the expansion of Act 78's definition. That act mandates public notification by the Department of Children and Families in cases of child death, serious injury, or critical incidents due to maltreatment. Advocates are now arguing that it should also comprehensively cover sexual abuse cases.
There's a lot of harm being done to that child through their well-being, through their development, through their mental health. And I don't know that Act 78 really gets at that impact of harm.
The impact of child sex abuse is not included in the definition. Those instances will not be included in the annual report that lawmakers will discuss next week. That hearing will take place at 10:30 in the morning.
Happening today at the state capitol, Wisconsin lawmakers coming from both sides of the aisle are set to introduce two new election bill packages. The event will feature Representatives Scott Krug and Lee Snodgrass. They'll outline proposals focused on voter education, ballot accessibility, and election administration. The event begins at 10:30 this morning in the Assembly Parlor. Supporters say the bills aim to modernize Wisconsin's election infrastructure and streamline absentee ballot processing.
Another Republican entering the race for governor, Congressman Tom Tiffany, is now running. He represents Wisconsin's 7th district, covering a large part of north and central Wisconsin. In his campaign announcement, he says under Democratic leadership, farms have disappeared, factories have shut down, and the state's education has fallen behind. He faces businessman Bill Berrien and Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman on the Republican side, and on the Democratic side of the ticket, Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, State Rep Francesca Hong, State Senator Kelda Roys, and beer vendor Ryan Sternod.
In more national news, after the devastating July 4th floods, Camp Mystic in Texas plans for a partial reopening next summer. The Camp Cypress Lake location will reopen separate from the main site where 27 girls and counselors tragically lost their lives. A new memorial is also in the works to honor those affected. The floods claimed at least 136 lives.
A dramatic end to the trial of the man who tried to assassinate President Trump at a Florida golf course. A court found Ryan Ruth guilty on all 5 counts, including attempted assassination of a major political candidate. During the verdict, though, when it was being read, Ruth appeared to try to stab himself in the neck with a pen. An eyewitness inside says authorities stopped him. Ruth faces the possibility of life in prison. He'll be sentenced December 18th.
A crucial spending package meeting between Democratic leaders and President Trump has been canceled. Trump announced it on social media, saying Democrats need to become realistic with their demands. The cancellation comes just 1 week after the House approved a measure that would have kept the government funded through November 21st, which later failed in the Senate. Congress now has until next Wednesday to pass a budget.
6:36 to baseball now. The Brewers trying to win a few extra games before the postseason starts next week. In San Diego last night, this one was clear early. Bottom of the first, Bruce Zimmerman delivers. Ryan O'Hearn sends it sailing, a grand slam to put the Padres up 4-0. San Diego would add a few more and shut the Brewers out. Final score 7-0. Milwaukee has the Padres again this afternoon. Then they host a 3-game series with the Reds to finish off the regular season.
Time to check in now on our Coats for Kids collection. We had another great day with 135 coats donated. So that brings our total to 1,625 coats.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. We're doing even better compared to this time last year.
Right.
So we're ahead by more than 460 coats. But of course, our goal is 5,000, so we still have a little ways to go. You can find donation details on channel3000.com. You can donate any gently used or even a new coat, plus winter accessories to any area Clinky Cleaners until October 4th.
We also have that Amazon wish list at channel3000.com if you don't have anything lying around. Yes. And the Henry Vilas Zoo is preparing to welcome a new polar bear. Nora is moving to Madison from the Oregon Zoo in Portland. She was born in Columbus at the zoo. 9-year-old bear is going to join the 26-year-old female bear, and she'll eventually be introduced to a male bear so she can raise some cubs. Henry Valley Zoo has not yet announced a date, though, when you can meet Nora here in Madison.
Very nice. Well, Culver's is celebrating Kurtoberfest this year, which means new items and fan favorites are hitting the menu. New jalapeno cheese curds will make their debut on National Cheese Curd Day, October 15th. And you can stick around through the end of the month for tasting of those. And back by popular demand, what started as just an April Fool's joke, the Curter Burger returns on Monday, but only through October 14th. So get it while it's hot and cheesy. Hot and cheesy.
All right, Kurtoberfest.
Yeah.
You gonna try the Curter Burger this fall?
Nope.
No, I think it's
come
I don't know,
on.
that patty just turns me away. Yeah.
Like, it was just a couple of cheese curds on it. I've had burgers like that. They're great.
Live a
but
little.
whole patty.
Live a little.
It's too big. I'd have to like cut into it to eat it.
Yeah, we could split it
Yeah,
maybe,
okay.
or like put it in fourths
We'll
or
do
something.
that.
But I know we did try the honey hot cheese curds last year. Those were not bad.
Yeah.
But, so I might try the
like
jalapeno. Maybe we can try the
regular ones better.
jalapeno
Yeah,
ones.
I'd try that.
Yeah.
I like spicy. A little bit of spice is good.
Yes, I agree. Sign of the fall season here.
Yeah, and it'll feel fall-like today, but that's not going to last that long. We have summer-like weather that's set to return once we head into the weekend. Here's our visibilities. We do have a little bit of fog out there. That's mainly west and south of Madison. Monroe's down to 7 miles. Lone Rock's there as well. Boscobel under 2 miles, and Vroke was at 1. We were low across Dane County. That is not the case anymore. We're back up to 10. So aside of the next maybe hour or two, past that, we're not going to be dealing with the fog anymore. It'll feel cooler though. 56 right now in Madison, mostly dry, and then we'll climb. Probably only going to see a couple of upper 60s. Our forecast high is still 70 in Madison, and that's exactly where we should be. We're cool tonight, and then we've got the warmer temperatures. We'll have more details on that and any showers we could see going forward coming up.
Sounds good. Consumer news ahead. New data telling us a new top beer in America, the brand that is now on top.
And it may only be Wednesday, but we're always looking ahead to the weekend in the 608. I'll have your 3 things to do just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
6:43 back with consumer news now. The U.S. has a new top-selling beer. Circana says Michelob Ultra has overtaken previous leader Modelo Especial in retail sales by volume. Officials at Anheuser-Busch say the launch of their non-alcoholic beer helped boost sales. Modelo's parent company says the Trump administration's immigration policies have also affected its sales among Latino consumers in particular. Overall, the beer industry is struggling. Retail sales for the first half of the year were just under $35 billion. That is a 5% drop compared to the same time the year before.
The Better Business Bureau of Wisconsin is warning about a job scam that's on the rise. Scammers are posing as HR representatives and recruiters offering remote positions. So here's what the scam looks like. A recruiter reaches out claiming they found your resume on a job search site. They then contact you over WhatsApp asking for personal information, which can lead to identity theft and other serious issues.
Employment scams have been in the top 3 scams for quite a few years already, and they're just getting more sophisticated and complex and more real as time goes on. And this is a pretty typical version of an employment scam that really takes it pretty far. So
the BBB recommends double-checking job offers to see if they're posted on the company's website and being wary of offers with inflated salaries for entry-level positions.
Halloween fast approaching. Starbucks getting into the spirit with some new mugs. 5 limited edition cups and tumblers feature glow-in-the-dark finishes and 3D textures and come in black, purple, and white, as you can see. They range from $15 to $30, though prices and availability may vary by location. What do you think?
You know,
You got a lot of mugs?
I do.
For the coffee you don't drink?
I don't drink coffee, but it's good for water. It's still good for water. I do have a lot of tumblers, but I just have a couple of a couple of them that I actually use, which is crazy. But you know, I know Starbucks girlies and guys out there may get these, so there.
Yeah, get into this season. Savannah, what do you think? What do you think of the mugs?
I've got a Bears colored one.
Of course you do.
There. So it's navy blue. It's not really Bears. There's no logo or anything on it, but I call it my Bears water jug, guys. 56 right now in Madison. We've got a lot of areas across southern Wisconsin that are in the mid-50s. We're off to a cooler start than yesterday. And even Black River Falls at 48 this morning. Temperatures are going to fall again tonight, a little bit cooler waking up Thursday morning, but that trend is not necessarily going to last that long. We've got a pretty sunrise. You can see some of that, but also a decent amount of cloud cover and a little bit of patchy fog. That's a live look outside in Platteville. Areas west of Madison are down to about 5, 6, and 7 miles of visibility. So not dense, but a little bit of patchy fog over the next about hour or so. Temperatures climb close to 70. Some of us may only reach the upper 60s. That's pretty much exactly where we should be today, but then we are tracking a warm up into tomorrow and especially this weekend. As far as cloud cover goes, we're waking up with a lot right now. I think by about lunchtime and a few hours after that, that's when skies are going to clear as temperatures come up. We've still got a northerly wind, and later this evening into tonight, a couple of spotty showers that'll be well east of Madison. I think everyone across southern Wisconsin for the most part should stay dry, but then we fall to about 50. That's what we'll wake up to tomorrow morning. It'll be a cool start, and I do think we'll see some fog again. Some of that could be patchy to even localized dense fog, but then as we head for lunchtime tomorrow, temperatures warm up, and that's when you can expect some sunshine. As far as rain goes, little to none going forward. I think the better chance is even going to be far southwest of even Chicago. You can see all of this only lighter green. That's a very minimal rain that we have, and most of the state of Wisconsin showing nothing out there. Aside of those spotty showers tonight into tomorrow, we're not going to see any rainfall over the next about week or so, maybe even longer than that. This is the latest drought monitor. It's almost a week old. Tomorrow morning we'll get our new one. I do think this yellow could creep a little bit further northward. Basically, the city of Janesville, Monroe, and areas Platte, east or south of Platteville are added to the abnormally dry conditions. So those areas could use the rain. They saw a little bit Monday night into early Tuesday morning, but the better chance tonight into tomorrow will be east of Madison. So not those areas that need it, but lots of sunshine at least. I mean, no complaints here. A summer-like weekend ahead with highs right about 80. That'll continue into early next week, but by that middle to end of next week time frame, that's when we come down to the mid-70s, which is still very nice and above average.
Boy, this weekend just looks excellent.
Yes, get out and enjoy it.
Lake days ahead.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Savannah. Hey, it's Wednesday, so we're going to start working for the 608 weekend in the 608 a little early.
And I'm okay with that. Our Josh Potter is live in studio with the Weekend Planner. Hey there.
Hey, good morning, guys. So the final weekend of September is almost here. I know, I can hardly believe it. Time's flying. So here are your 3 things to do this weekend in the 608 as we wrap up September. First up, Schuster's Farm in Deerfield is celebrating their 32nd season with a tribute to national champs, the UW women's hockey team. This year's corn maze features Bucky Badger scoring a goal, and the message, UW women's hockey is the GOAT. Fans can explore the maze, pick pumpkins, eat the donuts, and drink their brand new cider slushie, along with checking out the other fall attractions through Halloween. Their Haunted Forest is also going to be officially opening up for the season this weekend. You know, we've done that before. I think this was Michelle, Renee, and Savannah last year. You can get your tickets online right now. Well, a unique event is coming to Circus World in Baraboo this weekend. It's called Wagons and Wine. On Saturday, guests can sip Wisconsin wines while strolling through the grounds and getting an up-close look at the dozens of authentic historic circus wagons. The event also features big band music, light bites, and live performances from the Circus World artists. Tickets are $45 for those 21 and older, with discounts available for designated drivers. We'll be live in Sauk County for a sneak peek tomorrow morning in the 608. Let's head west to Iowa County now. The 2025 EMS and Fire Festival is happening Saturday in Avoca. This is at Lakeside Park from 11 to 11. There are events for the whole family with food, drinks, and music. So this festival helps the all-volunteer department get what they need to keep their community safe. So it's all for a good cause. I'll be there on the ground on Friday in the 608 with a closer look there. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. Got a couple busy days ahead. That's why we had to get to the weekend in the 608 a little early this week. We're getting into that time of year, a lot of events.
Yeah, you're going to be all over the map over the next few weeks, it seems.
We're getting on the road in the 608, putting some miles on.
Always out and about. Wagons and wine.
Wagons and wine. That is one of those words that for wagons.
That's like, yeah.
I love it. Lean into it, man.
I know.
Embrace it, right?
Love the accent on it.
There's some like big time, wineries that are involved, like Woolersheim and all that sort of stuff. So it's a great way to support local. Again, you can get your tickets now, and we'll be there tomorrow morning. And I hear we're gonna have a performer there with us too, so we should have some fun tomorrow.
So something fun up this
Yeah.
week. All right.
We always do.
Yeah, I'll say never short of fun here. All right. Well, Josh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Josh is always looking for inspiration to share with you folks at home, and so many of his ideas come from people just like you. So reach out and let them know what's going on.
Coming up in the morning sprint, the IRS is changing the way you get your tax returns.
And we have a third birthday to celebrate today. Let's take a look at who's 3. Lila.
Oh.
Happy birthday. .655, time for the morning sprint.
Jimmy Kimmel making his first comments after returning to late night TV. ABC suspended his show last week over comments he made following the Charlie Kirk shooting. His opening monologues, he said there was nothing funny about the activist's death, while also defending free speech. A quarter of American households will not see the show as broadcasters Sinclair and Nexstar are still preempting it.
A Madison man will spend 70 years in prison for sexually assaulting an infant. Skylar Klassen pleaded guilty after detectives found photo and video evidence on his phone. The infant's mother, Madison Bishop, also charged for encouraging Klassen. She'll be in court October 10th.
The IRS says it's phasing out paper tax refund checks for taxpayers. It's the result of an executive order to expedite the refund process by issuing them electronically. The IRS says taxpayers should continue to file the returns as they normally would. The shift to all electronic returns starts September 30th.
Well, it'll be fall-like today, 70 only, a couple areas probably only reaching the upper 60s. We're down to 52, so it might chilly, maybe a morning where you can actually grab the jacket tomorrow, Chris. And then after that, summer-like, so hopefully no one switched out their closets yet. We've been saying that it'll be above average for quite some time, and that reflects on the 10-day except for today, so.
Yeah, I still have a good split, have like half. The pants and leggings, and then the shorts still available to me right
exactly.
there.
I wore the long sleeve dress today. I think I was in like a tank toppy dress earlier this week. So.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yes.
Not ready to change over just yet. Savannah, thank you.
CBS Mornings is next.